What is going on, guys? Goose here, man. Coming back at your video. We're going to be previewing the LSU Texas game that's going to be Saturday night in Austin, Texas. This should be a very, very good game. Both these teams are coming off wins in the first games of the year. Texas beat Louisiana Tech, and LSU beat Georgia Southern. So, not really of a test, so to speak, for the two teams in the first week, but this week both of them are going to get a crash course because this should be a very I expect it to be a very, very good game. I would be very surprised if either team blows the other team out. So, it's my opinion. So, both teams, like I said, both teams coming off victories. But going back to last year, both teams are coming off last year when they LSU won the Fiesta Bowl over Central Florida, and Texas won the Sugar Bowl over Georgia. So both teams have high aspirations this year for maybe winning the conference, going to the playoffs. So this is a very big game for both these teams. So we'll go over the Texas game last week against Louisiana Tech. Texas won that game 45-14. So going over the stats, Texas had 454 total yards, but they also gave up 413, a lot of passing yards, which we will go over. Texas threw the ball 43 times, completed 31 and 301 yards, and they had one fumbled lost. And Louisiana Tech, they actually threw the ball 54 times, completed 35, and they threw for 340 yards. So Tech threw the ball a lot. They usually throw the ball very a lot. They threw the ball a lot last year against LSU, and they put up a bunch of yards. I'd be really surprised if LSU throws the ball 54 times in this game coming up. But they only had 73 yards rushing, Louisiana Tech did. So very, very stout rushing defense for Texas as Louisiana Tech only ran the ball for 2.8 yards per rush. That's going to be very key. I think LSU is going to have to run the ball to win this game. They can't just throw the ball and win the game, especially on the road. Now, Texas ran the ball for 153 yards from 30 carries. That's a 5.1 yards per average rush, which is very, very good. So Texas, they did what they had to do. They didn't pull a Tennessee and lose to Georgia State. So I just want to throw that in there. But LSU, like I said, they beat Georgia Southern 55-3. So LSU came out and they did what they had to do. Yeah, it was against Georgia Southern. I get that, but they did what they had to do. No injuries. They threw the ball well. As Burrow threw 5 touchdown passes in the first half. Look, we haven't had that in a long time. So I don't care who we play. We haven't thrown the ball that well against anybody in several years. So it's going to be very, very tough to do this or repeat this against Texas. But hopefully LSU can do this as they threw the ball 30 times for 39 yards. Sorry, they threw the ball 39 times, 30 completions for 350 yards, and they ran the ball for only 122 yards, 3.7 yards per rush. I guess that's close to 4. That's probably what you want to get. The rushing defense, LSU only allowed 74 yards rushing on 39 attempts. That's a 1.9 yard average. Georgia Southern usually is a very good running team. They run that triple option, which some teams have trouble stopping, but LSU was able to stop it Saturday night as Georgia Southern only had 98 yards of total offense. So all in all, I'll say it was a good effort for LSU. They did what they had to do. No injuries. They didn't sleepwalk through the game and like Ole Miss lost to Memphis. Mississippi State had a struggle against Louisiana Lafayette. South Carolina loses to North Carolina, and of course Tennessee loses to Georgia State. So a lot of SEC teams struggled Saturday against the lesser opponents, and LSU and Alabama was one of the two teams that didn't do that. Alabama beat Duke, and LSU beat Georgia Southern. So, of course, Auburn beat Oregon Saturday night in Jerry's World. That was a good game. So SEC looks like they're top heavy with Georgia, LSU, Alabama, A&M, and Auburn. Looks like they're top heavy with those teams. The rest of the team is, I guess I'll throw Florida in there, but we'll see what Florida has. Because they did play Miami, but the jury's out on Florida. I don't know if their quarterback is going to propel them to greatness, but we shall see with Florida. But anyway, guys, I think this is gonna be a great game. I think this is gonna be a very, very great game tonight. I think LSU is gonna win a close game. LSU's favored by I think 4 points right now. I think that's about right. I think 4 points is what the margin of victory is going to be. Around that, I'd be really surprised if LSU wins this game by more than 10 points, 7 points. Um, I just think it's going to be a very close game, very, very close game. I think LSU's going by 27-24. I think they're my 3 points. I think LSU's defense is going to make the big stops at the end. Texas is they're down a few running backs. They're down to only got 2 running backs. So I think that's going to maybe affect them a little bit, hopefully. But anyway, so I think LSU will come out victorious Saturday night in Austin, Texas. Anyway, guys, so you have a great time, and I will talk to you guys next time.